let's talk about the new Airbnb policy, which is totally insane. Airbnb is cracking down on people taking their guests off their platform because there's a new company. Well, it's not a new company, but there's a company called Sonder, which, according to Airbnb Undercover or Sean Rakitic, which is the Airbnb guru that we all know, he was saying that Sonder used to take the guests off the platform and then, put them into their proprietary software. And that what caused is that Airbnb was realizing they were taking a look and, these people were basically stealing their guests. That said, when Airbnb dropped this new in Tuesday 15, Sonder's stock went to the floor. That was insane. So I want to go over some of the rules and off-platform policies that Airbnb is having right now, which I summarized, with ChatGPT to make things easier. That said, so Airbnb off-platform and fee transparency policy, key takeaways. So no during bookings of Airbnb asking or encouraging guests to move current feature, repeat stays, even simple extensions to another site, book direct links or cancel and rebook tactics are all banned. And the thing is that you might say, well, how are they gonna know if I call the guest and I have the guest book offside and in my own platform? In my case, I have Hostaway. And since I have Hostaway, I have my guests come to my properties directly, and they say the fees, I save money, we all win. All mandatory fees must show at checkout. What I encourage you guys to do is that instead of putting some type of link on the platform, call the guests, let them know, hey, Airbnb is they're having this issue. If we charge you this on the platform, are you okay if I send you to sell here? Some guests are okay with that, some other guests are not, and so payments stay on the platform. So asking for guests for a quick Venmo or quick PayPal or quick Zelle outside of the platform is not allowed anymore. Because if you ask a guest for a payment outside the platform, what Airbnb is going to know is that, all right, this person is trying to get this people or this person's contact information so they can get it off the platform. And what happens with this is that Airbnb loses money. I totally understand. I have repeated guests on my platform, right? On my direct booking portal I just showed you. And they just go through me because they save money, of course. I totally understand. We all want to save money. We want to make more money. We want to save money. Everything is about the money. So that said, you will have to pay the fees on the platform. So no pre-booking contact infographics. That means that if you're trying to get your guests, like ID photos before a reservation, that's banned. Because Airbnb already pre-qualifies the guests. They already collect the guest data. Unless you are a hotel partner, which, you can read the full article here. I'll leave it down in the description so you guys can read it. And keep reviews on Airbnb. Host may not solicit feedback or ratings on Google, TripAdvisor, or external service for an Airbnb stay. I mean, that's crazy. So, but my question is, how are they gonna know? I always solicit my guests Google reviews because, what do? It's like, I want my guests to book through Airbnb. Actually, I prefer my guests to book through Airbnb, but they want to save money. So they just go directly with me. When they book through Airbnb, I have the Airbnb protection. If anything happens, they pay. When they book with me, they, burn my house. They're not gonna pay it. I have to pay for that. If they burn my house and they're on Airbnb has $1 million insurance policy, it's way better. But people just don't want to do it. So they go directly with me, right? Or they go with Airbnb and they love the stay. How can I not ask the guests to leave a Google review? Like, is that not allowed? Well, you're not gonna know if you do it directly, but apparently it's forbidden. They're not going to allow you to do that. So, and then there's a don't force guests into other apps for entry. Well, I totally understand this one because there's, actually as a guest, I hate when people ask for this information. It's like they ask you when you go to the properties and they ask you to fill this long ass forms. It's like, dude, I already have all my information that I had to fill on Airbnb. I already talked to you. I don't want to fill this form. I totally understand this. But the reason why they're doing this is because Sonder, what they used to do, they used to collect the guest data and they used to took it off the Airbnb platform and they went public. They went public stealing Airbnb guests. Airbnb made this platform. But if I was Airbnb, I would have just, I would have bought Sunder. Like, instead of cracking them down, I would have bought them. Monopoly, Enforcement is strict. Airbnb may issue warnings, pause listings, so permanently deactivate accounts for repeated or severe violations. Stay fully on platform, disclose every fee up front, and you'll stay on the right side of Airbnb updated rules. I mean, the reason why this is happening, guys, is because Airbnb has too much power. To be honest with you, I think they have a monopoly. Yeah, we have hotels, but people that stay on Airbnb, they don't want to stay at hotels. So it's a different type of population. We understand how Airbnb works. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it sucks. But once you are like a seasoned or you're used to staying on Airbnbs, you know what are the things that you're going to look at to stay in good places, right? So that said, the competition Airbnb has is Verbal. Verbal sucks, dude. If you have ever used the Verbal platform, just using the platform is a pain in the ass, especially if you're a host. It sucks. It just sucks. So we don't have like a platform to use apart from Airbnb that is good. That's good enough. So that said, then we have Booking.com, right? And you might say, well, Booking.com is good. Booking.com support suck. And once you call Booking.com support, who answers is a fucking guy in Bangladesh. No, sir, I cannot help you. It's like, they never can help. So Airbnb is the best option possible out there. And the reason why they're doing this is because they have too much power. And when they have that much power, they have the power to do this. Because if there was another platform, 2 or 3 platforms like Airbnb where people can get traffic, if Sunder, let's say that Airbnb cracks down their business, their stock is not gonna crash. Maybe it's gonna crash a little bit, it's gonna go a little bit lower, right? And it's gonna go up because they're getting bookings from another platform. But the thing is that Airbnb doesn't have any competition, so they can do whatever they want. And Airbnb sucks sometimes, but other platforms suck more. So whatever they're going to do, it's her business. I've made a lot of money out of Airbnb. I bought my apartment out of Airbnb. I bought my car out of Airbnb. I mean, like, every huge business opportunity that I've had is thanks to the Airbnb platform. But I just hate that they're doing this. I totally understand it. I can understand it because as a business owner, I don't want people taking my clients to their platform and then making millions of dollars, because that's basically stealing from me. But it still hurts, and it's gonna be harder to get direct bookings now. So what do you guys think? Do you think that this is fair? This is not fair? I don't know.